I went to the Gap last week to go shopping. I went to buy underwear and socks because that's the only thing I would ever buy at the Gap is underwear and socks. I wouldn't actually buy clothing at the Gap. If the good Lord had meant for us to buy clothes at the Gap, He wouldn't have given us Eddie Bauer.
I haven't seen anybody wear clothes from Eddie Bauer since 1996.
This is an Eddie Bauer shirt, by the way. I'll show you the underwear. This is the underwear I bought. Tighty whities, except they're gray. This pack is gray, the other pack is black. We need to come up with a alternative expression for tighty whities, but when they're gray, you know, something grays or something blacks or blackies, grayies. I'll show you one of the pairs of socks that I bought. Here they are. Got the little red on the toe there. That's about as kinky, as fashionable as I get to have a red stripe on the toes. By the way, if I put on these underwear, does that mean that I will look as attractive as this guy in the ad? I don't think that's how it works. I wish that were how it works. So I take my underwear and my socks and I get on the line and I walk up to the cashier when my time comes. The first thing she says is, "May I have your zip code, please?" In my more radical libertarian, fight the power youth, I would never have given my zip code. I would have said something incredibly indignant like, "My zip code is none of your damn business. You can have my zip code or my money, but you're not getting both." Or I would have given a fake zip code, deceive their systems. Nowadays I'm a little more cynical, I'm a little more passive. There's a reason why when I'm pressed for my zip code, I actually give it. Besides the fact that I'm not sure just how harmful it is to give out your zip code, but there's a different reason why I am completely whipped on this subject. Another chain, Walgreens, at least the one that is in my neighborhood, they ask for your zip code for an entirely different reason. Not for the reason that the Gap gives it, which I suspect is just to do marketing research and such. Walgreens insists on having your zip code because they use it to verify your credit card. This in and of itself is not obnoxious. The New York City Subway Authority, the MTA, does the same thing when you buy your Metro card. This is a Metro card. When you buy your Metro card and you pay for it with credit card, you have to enter the zip code to confirm it. That's fine. What I don't like, there's two things I don't like. Number one, you have to speak your zip code. You have to say it to the cashier, who then keys it in. That's annoying. There's people around, give me a keypad or a touchpad. It would be like asking for your PIN number. May I have your debit card PIN number, please? And you had to speak it. That's annoying. The second thing that annoys me about Walgreens policy is the fact that they do it for even the smallest amount. The MTA does this too for the Metro cards. Even if you're just doing a small little $5, $10 transaction, you still have to go through this security layer, which is kind of stupid. By way of contrast, Walgreens' principal competitor in the New York City area, which is a local but large chain called Duane Reade, they've actually gone completely in the opposite direction. If your credit card transaction is small enough, I think the cutoff is $20, then not only do you not have to speak your zip code for all the world to hear, but you don't even have to sign. You don't have to sign a receipt. You don't have to sign the touchpad. That's very convenient because, look, I mean, $20, you're charging $15 worth of stuff. How much of a security threat is that? As a result, I don't shop at that Walgreens anymore under any circumstances because I do everything by credit card. But for the Gap, I had to trek all the way up. I had to walk many, many blocks to buy it, and I just was not going to do it. So what do you think? Is it stupid to require the customer to do the zip code? Do you base where you shop at all based on credit card policies and having to sign versus not having to sign? What influences your decision as the customer? There's another thing that annoys the heck out of me. Why is it when I go to a supermarket, and it seems to be only supermarkets that do this, you have the type pad on the side there, you swipe your card, and then the cashier has to ask you debit or credit. I don't understand why, when the information is fed from the pad, the card reader, to the cashier network? Why can't it detect whether it's a debit or credit card? And this has happened not just in my local supermarket, but I've seen this happen in other supermarkets too. I think it's pretty much universal. I've asked sometimes in the past, and the only intelligible answer I've ever gotten is the networks don't communicate with each other. That can't possibly be right. They do communicate with each other because after they type in the information, it shows up on the keypad, your keypad where you've swiped, it says $23.48. Correct? Okay, no. You actually have to see the amount and agree to proceed. So obviously there's communication. The cashier network can talk to the transaction processor network. So why can't the transaction network communicate with the cashier network? Does anybody have any insight into that? And that's it. Tell me your stories about dealing with credit cards, banks, transaction processors, merchants. What do you like and not like about our electronic economy these days? That's all. Cheers.